There has never been a better time for food in Delhi. New restaurants pop up on the scene every now and then. Lately, we have concepts like farm to table, local to global gaining massive popularity. Then we have superfoods, migrant food, new diets, and international cuisine, and the list goes on. Delhi certainly has one of the most evolved palates in India. Fueling this feeding frenzy is a host of young chefs who are ready to take on the mantle from the likes of Ritu Dalmia and Manish Mehrotra. Today, with ThePrint, let's uncover these hidden talents, their journeys, and understand the new eating out culture of the national capital.
The culinary landscape of Delhi is undergoing a change. A new generation of chefs are pushing the boundaries, combining international cuisine with local ingredients. They are breaking rules, redefining the concept of cooking and dining experiences, and bringing a fresh perspective to the table. Leading this movement is the executive chef of Olive Bar and Restaurant, Dhruv Oberoi. When Dhruv took over this kitchen 4 years back, he brought an unprecedented change in the European menu of the restaurant.
I realized, for so many years, I was practicing cuisine and I was doing menus, with a lot of global ingredients. So I thought, what should we do different, which will make me define as a chef for the future, right? So what I realized that time, there was no restaurant which was doing European and international cuisine with our very own local produce. Then we did a lot of R&D, we spoke to a lot of farmers, we did a lot of trials in the kitchen with the teams, and we realized a lot of things can be done in a very unique fashion where you can use all things local and doing all the European recipes. Without adulterating it, without bastardizing it, I would not call it a fusion of Indian and international two things together. I would say keeping the authenticity alive by using the ingredient which is very us, right? Which is very Indian in that way. For example, we have few ingredients here. You talk about this beautiful amaranth leaf. So rather using anything with spinach or kale, like kale is taking over the world in a very different fashion. Why to use kale when we have our very own amaranth, right? So we have amaranth leaves we use a lot in our entrees, in our main courses, in our salads. We use a lot of amaranth seeds. We use a lot of amaranth flour. So we do our pizzas with amaranth flour. For instance, we have this amla, which has a very interesting story. That post-COVID, what we need to do, to give diners a very unique experience at the same time, which is very healthy in a way. Then we realized, let's do something with amla. And ever since, I think this is one of the hot selling thing at Olive.
The chef's jamun cheesecake, a spin at the famous blueberry one, is a hit among diners.
So we have converted like that in a sweet, the berry sauce sort of a thing, and which you can have it very nicely. It has its own acidity, it has its own sweetness. So very straightforward dish, I think, which doesn't need any attention. You don't need to, go very fancy about it, but the flavor combination is a bomb. I would like you to try it.
So should
we take So take a bite of cheesecake, have it with the jamun combo. Let it be messy, it's fine.
That's it?
Yeah. Maybe more. I think I would take more, but you can take a bite and then have more jamun and say that. Like berry is known for its antioxidants, right? Like it has so many the good properties, but I would say jamun has much more properties than berry. Berry is equally nice, but when you can replace it, when you have an option of replacing berries with jamun, why not?
While European cuisine has been quite popular in the national capital, Japanese food is the recent obsession. In the heart of Delhi's Shahpurjat village, the atmosphere at Zuru Zuru is alive with the soulful slurping of authentic ramen bowls. Here, Navika Kapoor and Hiten Puri are on a mission to not only introduce Delhi to authentic Japanese ramen, but also to the concept of communal dining.
What we tried to do at Zuru Zuru, one because of space constraints, second because we anyway really wanted to do it, so whether or not we had the space, we would still have a communal dining thing. This whole space is very fluid. On certain days, we have had 8 people in our balcony where we have 2 seats, by the way. We've had 10 people on this table, which it's not fit to seat more than 8. And our atta drums have been called out. That table seats 4 on most nights when it's busy. It's a tiny space, but the whole vibe of communally dining, breaking bread, watching that somebody else is having a butter garlic prawn, so you also want to have that. Maybe there's a little bit of gyoza there that's catching your eye, and you're like, आज ये नहीं खाया वो खा लेते हैं, and then just having a chat. Hey, I've seen you somewhere. Usually that happens with the lawyers that I hear, because a lot of lawyers I hear. But anyway, point is, people are a lot more open to the concept of communal dining. Not everyone is. There are some people who come here and they're like, not my vibe. But most of them have a great night with that kind of an atmosphere and really enjoy, being on a common table with strangers.
Started in 2021, in the middle of the pandemic, Zuru Zuru has made its presence felt in the culinary scene of Delhi. Viral videos on Instagram and word of mouth have helped the restaurant register a turnover of 1 crore from the opening. It's evident that Kapoor and Puri aren't just serving food, they are crafting an experience, one bowl of ramen at a time. But how is this new generation different from the already established ones?
I think, there will always be a limitation to my answer, because these older chefs have way more experience than us, and we're still learning. But how they say in the army, like a son of a soldier is a better soldier. So I think what we're doing and what we're building here as a younger generation is I think it's a lot more there's a change of thought. We don't really think of the service professionals as servants anymore. Times are changing. There is not just glamour around it, there is a sense of pride also that a lot of young chefs are taking from a very younger age, which usually came a lot later in life and in industry. So I think a lot of new talent and a lot of knowledge from these older generation of chefs, and I think it's going to be whatever is you see. I think in the next 5 years the younger generation is going to be at least 5x in terms of the quality, the ideas, and it's just going to be a fun time to be.
At Zuru Zuru, Hiten and Navika are not just focusing on serving their diners. They are also balancing the mental health and well-being of their employees.
A lot of our focus is really around one, growth for each and every single person that joins our team, whether it's any personal targets they have or what we professionally need them to do in that role, or even overall well-being, just keeping the shifts to a certain limit. You don't go beyond you're not doing 16 mad hours a day type scene, and you have a life outside of work.
The mental health is
Yes,
important.
very. And it's important that while work should not suffer at all, obviously, because that's something that we hold very close to our heart and with pride, one should also have a life outside of it.
Delhi diners are not easy to deal with. Owners and head chefs of Plats, Jamshed Bhote and Hanisha Singh, recall incidents where customers misbehaved with their staff.
It's that division there, because I feel some people can still be very terrible.
Okay.
Like, as service hospitality people, they are here only to serve you better.
Yeah.
And they don't come with a goal of I want to make life difficult for you today, or I want to treat you badly. But sometimes human error or certain things go wrong, and people, I think, have zero tolerance sometimes. They just lose it, the kind of things they say, or they've actually been abusive to the staff.
The moment we come in, then the tone changes.
Tone changes. I think maybe it's a Delhi problem, because I haven't really seen it too much in
Outside.
other metro cities at least.
Plats, located on Shivalik Road in Malviya Nagar, is a modern space offering global flavors with European cooking techniques. What does it mean? Well, let's hear from the owners themselves.
And basically, both of us realized that we were not inclined to any particular cuisine as such. We loved cooking and the process of cooking, and the process of creating food. So we said, let's do a restaurant where no boundaries in terms of cuisine.
Okay.
So our technique is very European, but our flavors are very globally derived.
Okay.
So even if you look at the menu,
elaborate on that?
few of our dishes, for instance the prawn and calamari plancha, it's the way it's cooked is very Spanish style on the plancha, but the sauce that goes with it is like a tigre, leche de tigre, which is Peruvian. But we've done our own spin on that by adding passion fruit and stuff like that.
Completely bootstrapped, this 18-cover restaurant started in October 2019, and months later, the country was reeling under the onslaught of the pandemic. But this restaurant survived.
I don't think we had the time to go through that whole emotional shake my confidence kind of thing. I think that hit us much later.
I think mentally it's like
firstly,
survival. So you just started thinking on your feet, like what
can
can
be
we do?
done,
Because we've put in everything. Like we worked the last 14-15 years and we've put all our savings into this. Like there's no going back.
Being employees for 16
Like,
years
we
to
might-
suddenly
we were
have people that you're responsible for.
And like, we were paying the salaries now, and there were people dependent on us. So we were like, we really need to figure out something where we can kind of, not have them lose faith that we are going to let them go.
And you get calls, chef, kya hone wala hai? And you didn't
very
have answers
uncertain.
because you didn't
Very
know kya hone
uncertain.
wala hai.
There is another dimension to this upcoming generation of chefs. They are not just mindful of the produce, but are also ensuring that the money reaches the farmers directly.
Again, we work with a varied number of vendors. Like, even if I take just vegetables, for instance, I have worked 6 different vendors.
Okay.
So we've tried to identify what everyone is good at. See, like, not one person can give you the best
Best of everything. Right.
So we work with some mushroom farmers from Himachal, where he would, put his. So we work directly with some farmers where they put produce into the buses and they send it from Himachal, and
we
we
would
send
pick it up.
someone early in the morning to go and pick it up from the bus. So to keep that freshness intact. Also to eliminate the middleman in some form or the other, because then the farmer, he gains the benefit of because we're buying it at a rate where someone in INE will sell it at, but now the money is going straight to the farmer.
Straight to the farm, right?
And it will be safe to say, gone are the days of butter chicken and tandoori naan reigning supreme. Today, in Delhi, the spotlight is on international cuisine and local ingredients. Well, chefs are well aware that they are sitting on a gold mine.
So this is how the next generation of food in Delhi looks like. Stay tuned for more updates. This is Triya Gulati reporting for ThePrint with video journalist Anisha Nehra.